Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Before we get into this one, if you could just hit that button down below, that would really help me out. But today's video is about what it says in the title and thumbnail. Leeds United need a number 10, and I've been talking about this for a few weeks. We need a creative number 10, somebody who can come in there and open up defences when we're playing against teams who play with a low block. It gives us options. It allows us to play Joel Piroe up front in the 10, in the 9, which I believe is his best position. It allows you to play Jorginho maybe out wide, going up against defenders, fullbacks, which is something we maybe haven't seen too much, and then Somerville on the other side with that number 10 in the middle. Today's number 10 that I'm going to talk about is Manu Fuster. Now, you may not have heard of him, but he plays in the Spanish Segunda Division for Albacete, and he plays as almost a left midfielder in a 4-4-2 most of the time. And you may think, well, actually, that's not the most ideal player to come in here, but with his stats and with his heat maps, which we'll talk about in a little while, of where he actually likes to drift into, I think he could be a very, very good number 10, and we'll talk about that. First thing we're going to talk about is his statistics, his overlying statistics, and then we'll give him a bit of the eye test and talk about the way he plays as well. So we'll get into that. So first off, let's talk about the statistics. Versus midfielders, in the last 365 days in similar leagues, this is where he ranks. Non-penalty goals, so how many goals he scores per 90, 0.24, which puts him in the 97th percentile for midfielders, which obviously the top 3% of all midfielders in similar leagues compared to him. He's scored 5 goals and got 5 assists this season. He's done excellently well. Shots per 90 is something as well that I've talked about, where we tend to get to the edge of the box and then we pass again and we pass again and we pass again. We look to try and get a shot away from like the 6-yard line, but really sometimes it just takes somebody to have a shot from the edge of the box. I'm recording this a few days after the Leicester game against, who did they play? James Justin scored a goal from like 30 yards. But the thing is that's worrying for me is that we never shoot from distance. Like, sometimes it goes in, and you know that. Sometimes it goes in, we never do it. But Manu Fuster is somebody who actually does like to take a shot at goal. 2.46 shots per 90, which puts him in the 98th percentile for midfielders. Top 2% of shot-taking midfielders. Assists, 0.21 per 90, which puts him in the 93rd percentile. So top 7% of midfielders in similar leagues. He's very good at getting in the right place at the right time and assisting goals. Shot creating actions. This is what I want to talk about. Shot creating actions is, so I know if you're a fan of the channel or you've been here before, you'll know we've talked about shot creating actions, but we always have to explain it just in case there's new people here, because it is a fairly new concept. Shot creating actions is the pass that leads to somebody having a shot, so that's the assisted shot, or the pass before that. So if Manu Fuster passes it to, if he says it Leeds, he passes it to Jorginho, then Jorginho passes it to Joel Piroe, and he's the one who has a shot, even if it goes wide. That's counted as a shot creating action for Manu Fuster because he's able to be involved. It's just a barometer of how much somebody's involved in attacking play. And from this, you can see he's massively involved. 6.2 shot creating actions per 90 puts him in the 99th percentile. So the top 1% of midfielders in Europe, in Europe's similar leagues, obviously like all the second divisions and things like that, puts him in the 99th percentile, 6.2 per 90. So he's creating so many opportunities for his teammates. The other thing as well, passes attempted and pass completion rate, it seems very low. Look, 72% puts him in the 11th percentile for midfielders. But when you're comparing to midfielders, what you're also comparing to is holding midfielders. So say Ampadu and Kamara and players like that. You're also comparing to them, and they're the ones who will just pass it from side to side, then go back to the defender. Somebody like Manu Fuster, because he's getting forward and playing those risky passes, his pass completion is not going to be as high, but because he takes those risks, he's able to get the ball into positions where Leeds, or his team at the moment, Albacete, would be able to create chances from them. So it's more high risk, which is what I was calling out for in previous games. I've said, excuse me, that we don't take enough risks with our passing going forward. Like, we'll go up the side and then we'll go, oh no point putting it in the box, we'll come back again, and it's too patient, to almost what Leicester have been accused of a little bit, but obviously Leicester have just blitzed in the league. But taking those risks sometimes pays off, and I think it pays off a lot of the time with Manu Fuster in the Segunda Division in Spain. Progressive passes 6.54 and progressive carries 3.87, which puts him in the 82nd and 99th percentile. So he likes to pass the ball forward, he likes to dribble forward. He's a very, very positive player, and he likes to take people on as well. 1.78 successful take-ons per 90 puts him in the 93rd percentile, top 7%, and he takes a lot of touches in the attacking penalty area, 3.55 per 90, 99th percentile. So what I'm talking about here is the fact that, yes, he's playing left mid, but these stats, they all seem to line up with the fact that he potentially should be in that number 10 role because of the amount of times he gets into the box. And we'll look at his heat maps now, because this is when we're starting to do the eye test. You can see this game, Albacete versus Real Zaragoza. He's in the number 10 position there in the left. Well, he's in the left mid position, but he loves to drift inside and go into that number 10 role. He's kind of a little bit similar to the role that Somerville plays for Leeds at the moment. That's the way he plays for Albacete. But I think that because of that, if he's to play in the number 10, his natural preference would probably be to drift wide a little bit. But I think that's a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing. So I think that's a good thing because it allows him to link up with players like Somerville, or if he drifts out to the right, it allows him then to link up with Dan James or Nonto, whoever is out there. I think it's a good position for him, putting him in that number 10, because I think he'll naturally just drift out wide, combined with the other players. That allows Somerville to come inside on his right foot, which he likes to do. I think there's a lot of things, a lot of combinations that we can see there why it would work well for him. You can see from his heat map that he's all over the place as well. The other thing I want to talk about with Manu Fuster is also his set-piece delivery, his corner delivery. That's where some of his assists have come from this season. His corner delivery is excellent, right on the money most of the time, and obviously his teammates have managed to get on a few of them. If we just look at another one from Villarreal B versus Albacete, again, a similar thing. His average position is to come inside and to almost drift into that number 10 role. Yes, he spends a lot of time out wide as well, and he takes those corners. That's why the corners are highlighted like that. But he likes to drift inside, and I think putting him inside means that he'd probably drift outside a little bit and link up with our wingers. So I think, for me, it would be a very shrewd buy. He's only rated at about £1.5 million. So Albacete's asking price could be up to 2 million, 3 million, something like that. And he's 26 years old. Now, don't say that's old, because I'm 26 now. So, but to be honest, I think it's a bargain. I think it's something that we could easily go for that would maybe change up the way we play and attack a little bit. Somebody who has a little bit of experience, but is sort of coming into his prime as well. Once he hits 27, 28, he should be in his prime. And if we can bring him in for not very much money at all into that number 10 role, I think he's certainly an option to have in there. It allows you to push Pirro up front. It allows you to put Jorginho on the right and Somerville on the left. It just gives you more options, I think. And I like it. I like this move. I think it's a good one. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. I think Manu Fuster is somebody who can definitely come in off the left, drift inside, or start in the middle and drift outside and link the play with those players. Like I say, good set-piece delivery, really good finisher in and around the box as well. Let's talk about that. He, a lot of the time, picks up the ball on the edge of the box. And oftentimes when you'd get a midfielder in those positions, sometimes you expect them to try and pass it or whatever. A lot of the time he has the confidence and the calmness to just take a touch and it sends the defender, and then he just bends it in the bottom corner. He likes a bending, use the defender to bend the ball around and put it into the bottom corner. He likes to do that. And I like to see that, like I said, with him taking those shots. He likes to curl it around the defender, try and find the corners, and he's very good at it as well. 5 goals this season and 5 assists for Albacete in the Spanish Segunda Division. I think he's a very, very good pick. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Obviously, you can find some highlights of him on YouTube and stuff and have a little watch of him. But for me, I think it'd be a very shrewd buy. I don't think many people will really be after him, but if as a January transfer signing for a couple of £1 million to come to England with the chance of getting promoted, I think he'll want to do it. I think Leeds would be happy with the price that they'd have to pay for him, and I think it would come good for all parties. So yeah, let me know what you think down below to Manu Fuster, but I thought he was just a little bit of an out-of-the-way pick, and I wanted to do a little scouting report on him so you can get an idea of what sort of player he is. But for me, I think he'd be a very, very good signing for Leeds. Thanks for watching Leeds Lately, and I'll see you in the next one.